Let's talk about one of the most powerful and, most invisible forces in our lives, fear. But I'm not talking about the jump scare kind of fear. No, we're diving into that quiet, reasonable sounding voice in your head that disguises itself as logic and secretly pulls the strings on almost every decision you make. I want you to think about that for a second. The last time you decided to put something off, because it just wasn't the right time or you weren't ready yet, was that really logic talking? Or was it just a really, really good story fear was telling you? That's the big question we're getting into, and trust me, the answer might just change everything. And this right here is the absolute heart of it. Fear doesn't storm in and announce, "Hey, I'm terrified." Not at all. It's much smarter than that. It whispers these super sensible things, like, "Let's just think this through a bit more," or "I'll do it when I'm more prepared." But if you strip all that away, underneath it all, it's almost always just one thing: avoidance. Okay, so let's pull back the curtain on fear's favorite costume, because it's not some monster hiding under the bed. No, it's dressed up as the voice of caution, of responsibility, that thing we so often mistake for simple, grown-up wisdom. Now, to really get why fear is so sneaky, you have to understand its biological roots. Your brain's number one job, its prime directive from day one, is survival. It's designed to keep you safe from danger and uncertainty. The only problem, that ancient software, the one designed for escaping saber-toothed tigers, is now running in our modern world. And because of that mismatch, our survival system totally misfires. It treats emotional risks with the same 5-alarm fire urgency as a real physical threat. So pitching that new idea at work, having that difficult conversation with someone you care about, to your nervous system, it can feel exactly like you're facing down a predator. And what does your brain tell you to do when you face a predator? Run. And this isn't random. This instinctive reaction actually builds into a very consistent strategy. You see, fear has a playbook. It has a set of go-to moves that it uses over and over again to keep you right where you are, safe inside your comfort zone. So play number one, the MVP of the playbook, is avoidance. Think about it. When you put off that phone call you're dreading, or you delay starting that big project, what happens? You feel an immediate wave of relief. It feels so good. But that feeling of relief, it's a trap. It's a reward that trains your brain, conditioning it to believe that backing away from discomfort is the right and safe thing to do. Another one of fear's most brilliant disguises? Perfectionism. It sounds so noble, right? I just want to make sure I do a great job. But what's really happening is that fear is setting the bar so impossibly high that the thought of even starting feels overwhelming. The cost of action seems so great that doing nothing at all suddenly feels like the only logical choice. This just puts it perfectly. It totally reframes the whole idea. Perfectionism isn't really about a pursuit of excellence. It's just a very sophisticated shield that fear uses to justify staying exactly where you are. And then, of course, there's good old overthinking. You know the feeling? Your mind is spinning, you're making lists of pros and cons, you're running through every single what-if scenario. It feels so productive, doesn't it? It feels like you're making progress, but in reality, you're just treading water. Fear absolutely loves analysis because as long as you're thinking, you're not doing, and doing is where the risk is. Okay, so that's the problem. It's a pretty convincing case for how fear runs the show. But the good news, the really good news, is that you do not have to live under its thumb. The solution isn't to somehow become fearless. It's to completely change your relationship with fear. This right here is the crucial mindset shift you have to make. Fear is not the enemy you need to conquer. Think of it more like a signal. It's just a blinking light on your dashboard. Its presence simply means that you're getting close to the edge of your comfort zone and that whatever you're about to do actually matters to you. It's just data. So what this really means is we have to move from being a servant of fear to just being an observer of it. You can actually notice it, acknowledge it. You can say to yourself, okay, there's that feeling of fear again. Interesting. But you do it without giving it the power to make the final call. You take away its authority. And this chart shows you exactly why that works. Look at the first bar. When you avoid something, sure, you get that quick drop in fear. It feels great for a moment. But it always comes back, and usually it's even stronger next time. But now look at the second bar. When you take action while feeling the fear, something amazing happens. Yeah, the initial fear might be high, but over time, its power permanently shrinks. You're literally teaching your brain that you can handle the discomfort. Which brings us to our final and honestly, our most important section. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to a simple choice we have to make over and over again. The choice between short-term comfort and long-term courage. So how do we actually do this? Well, here are 3 really practical ways. First, stop focusing on the outcome and focus on the process instead. Just showing up, that's the win. Second, you have to build self-trust by proving to yourself again and again that you can handle being uncomfortable. And third, take small, almost laughably small actions. Every tiny step forward helps rewire your entire nervous system. This question right here is an absolute game changer. Fear always wants you to focus on preventing failure. What if it goes wrong? But courage asks a totally different question. It asks you to trust your own ability to adapt after a so-called failure. Shifting to this question gives you permission to try, because you know you have the resilience to handle whatever comes next. And let's just be crystal clear about what's at stake here. Every single time you let fear make the decision, you are always choosing short-term comfort. You're protecting how you feel in this exact moment, but you're trading away the growth, the opportunities, and the life you could have in the future. So, in the end, it all comes down to this. Fear is going to show up. That's a guarantee. It's just part of being human. The real question, the one that will define the entire path of your life, is this. Who's in charge? Is it you? Or is it that ancient voice that's just trying to keep you safe and small? The choice is always yours.